Permanent Mission of Sri Lanka have the joint honor of welcoming you to the United Nations General Assembly Hall on the auspicious day of the International Day of VESAK. We have today the honorable presence of His Excellency Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, Her Excellency Maria Emma Mejia-Velez, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Colombia, today representing the President of the General Assembly, His Excellency Dr. Virachai Plasai, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Kingdom of Thailand, His Excellency Dr. Rohan Pereira, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka, as co-host of this event. It is now time to begin the official ceremony. May I have the honor to invite His Excellency Mr. Virachai Plasai, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Thailand, to the podium, please, to give his remarks.
Venerable monks, Mr. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Ambassador Maria Emma Mejia-Velez, Vice President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the government and the people of Sri Lanka, in particular those who lost their lives or are affected by the floods which recently struck the country. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to all of you at this year's celebration of the International Day of VESAK. We particularly wish to express our reverence and deep gratitude to the venerable monks gathering here from various Buddhist communities, as well as Ambassador Maria Emma Mejia-Velez, who is here on behalf of the President of the General Assembly, and the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. Their presence echoes the importance that the UN places on the role of religions and their message of peace. The commemoration of the International Day of VESAK at the UN this year is distinctively special, as we will have the honor to hear sermons by Venerable Tapavanaye Sutattara and Venerable Pasano Bhikkhu. Both distinguished monks have contributed extensively to the monastic tradition of Buddhism, providing spiritual guidance for Buddhist followers worldwide. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, VESAK is a most sacred day to millions of Buddhists around the world. VESAK Day marks the birth, enlightenment, and the passing of Lord Buddha. On this day, Buddhists around the world gather to commemorate and reflect on the three jewels of Buddhism: the Lord Buddha, his teachings or Dhamma, and the community of Buddhist monks or the Sangha. On VESAK Day, Buddhists reiterate their determination to commit to a noble yet humble living, to practice loving and kindness, and to bring peace and harmony to humanity in accordance with the Panchasila, or the 5 precepts of Buddhist teachings. Today, to commemorate this important event, we have with us distinguished delegates from a number of member states representing a wide range of faiths, which helps to make this celebration a truly interfaith event, as it should be. From Thailand, former ASEAN Secretary General and our former Foreign Minister, Dr. Surin Pitsuwan, who is now the Foreign Minister's Special Envoy, will also deliver his remarks. Dr. Pitsuwan has been widely regarded for his roles in cultivating friendship and cooperation among countries of different religious and cultural backgrounds. He will today share with us his views on how pluralism and tolerance can help bridge differences and amplify the richness and benefits of diversity among nations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot conclude my remarks without expressing my sincere appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Rohan Pereira, Ambassador and Permanent representative of Sri Lanka for co-hosting this year's Day of VESAK together with the mission of Thailand again. Let us be blessed by peace and harmony, and let us be guided by the light of compassion for all. Thank you.
The most venerable members of the Maha Sangha, Her Excellency Mrs. H.E.Mr. Velez, Vice President of the General Assembly, His Excellency Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, distinguished co-chair His Excellency H.E.Mr.Virachai Plasai, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Kingdom of Thailand to the United Nations, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a great honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to you all and to address you on this very auspicious occasion, marking the thrice blessed day of VESAK that commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and the demise of Lord Buddha. 16 years ago, Sri Lanka took the initiative to recognize the day of VESAK internationally by spearheading the adoption of Resolution 54/115 under the guidance of the late Lakshman Kadiragama, the then Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, with the active participation of not only other Buddhist states but all member states of the United Nations. Today, in this August General Assembly Hall, we commemorate this thrice blessed day for Buddhists all over the world when it has been declared as an optional holiday for the United Nations for the first time in terms of Resolution 69/250. This is the culmination of the initiative that we took 16 years ago. I strongly believe that this VESAK Day provides all of us with an opportunity to reflect upon the continuing relevance of the Buddha's message, as we in the United Nations are confronted with unprecedented challenges in the contemporary global order. Today, the global community is faced with increasingly complex challenges to international peace and security in the backdrop of a rapidly evolving threat of terrorism, violent extremism, and other forms of violent conflict. Let us ask ourselves the question whether we cannot find in the message of the Buddha the essential elements of the solutions to these challenges. I believe we can. That Buddhism advocates peace and non-violence as its universal and core message is only too well known. The spirit of tolerance and understanding has been one of the most cherished ideals of Buddhist culture and civilization over centuries. History does not record a single instance of persecution or shedding of blood for propagation of the Dhamma or forced conversion of people during its long history of over 2,500 years. The Buddha's doctrine spread peacefully across the frontiers of the Asian continent as it appealed to the reasoning and intellect of the individual. Violence in any form, under any pretext whatsoever, is absolutely against the teachings of the Buddha. It must be recalled in this regard that Emperor Ashoka of India, who resorted to war in expanding his vast Mayura empire, having witnessed the ravages of war and having later understood the universal message of the Buddha, adopted the policy of Dharma Vijaya, or conquest through the Dhamma, having renounced resort to violence and war. History records that Buddha, or the Enlightened One, not only preached non-violence and peace, but also visited the field of battle, actively intervening and preventing the outbreak of war. It is said that the Buddha personally intervened to solve a dispute that occurred between the royal clans of Shakya and Kolya, who were his paternal and maternal kinsmen, respectively, on sharing the waters of the river Rohini. These instances resonate as we deal with issues of prevention of conflict and peaceful resolution of disputes in the United Nations. The essence of Buddhist philosophy in terms of peace and non-violence is captured very succinctly in the Dhammapada. It elucidates Nahi Verana Verani Sammanti the Kudachanam Averanaicha Sammanti Esa Dhammo Sanatano. In this world, hatred never ceases by hatred. It ceases by love alone. This is an eternal law. Dhammapada underlines the eternal truth that there can be no peace or happiness for man as long as, quote, the victor breeds hatred and the defeated lies down in misery, and that he who renounces both victory and defeat is happy and peaceful, unquote. These words are of particular significance as we engage in post-conflict reconciliation of our societies, as our countries, including my own, emerge from long years of conflict. Winning the war will not bring happiness and harmony unless the peace is won in the hearts and minds of the people. In conclusion, I wish to quote Bhikkhu Bodhi, who expounded on the situation in which we, the global community, find ourselves in. And I quote, "We live in a world that thrives in conflict, and in which the forces that nurture conflict are pervasive, obstinate, and terribly powerful. But what we can do and must do is to testify by our conduct to the supremacy of peace, to avoid words and actions that engender animosity, to heal divisions, to demonstrate the value of harmony and concord."